What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We'll be looking at the Arsenal ownership issue. I think with all what's going off with Newcastle and their multi-billion-dollar takeover from their owners, it's opened a can of worms again for me about Silent Stan. This guy's just quietly in the background, getting away with things, in my opinion. And I think it was important we have a look at the situation regarding him. Are we ever going to get rid of this guy? Who will actually buy the club if he was to sell the club? Would it be Daniel Ek? Would it be Dan Gotti? Would it be these Qatari owners? Let us know what you think regarding that. And obviously some good news for Mikel Arteta. He has won an award and well-deserved, to be fair. But he's going to have to do a lot more than that to convince me, I'm going to be honest. But it's a starting point, you know, people. And we'll be digressing an interview that Martin Odegaard has done while on international duty as well. So we'll be talking about that and lots more. Big up to everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you're well. It's the weekend. You're probably finishing work, you know, weekend off. Relax, watch football, enjoy yourself. Big up to everyone who tuned in yesterday. Probably one of the best games we've watched in a long time internationally. The France against Belgium game was absolutely fantastic yesterday. 3-2. Belgium 2-0 up at half-time, and France managed to come back and win the game 3-2. I tweeted that Belgium are the Tottenham of international football, and a few Tottenham fans weren't happy with that, but I don't mind, to be fair. It's all fun and games. I called them Belgium Hotspurs, but Tottenham fans didn't see the funny side of it. I thought it was quite funny, to be fair. So, yeah, that was definitely a great game, and I think I made a good choice not doing the Jamaica game watch along last night because they unfortunately lost again. They're in bad form at the moment. It's tough enough being an Arsenal fan. I come to international break, watch the Reggae Boys, and these men are getting peppered all over the place. 0-0 at half time. I'm basically half asleep. Game's boring. They end up losing the game 2-0. I've stayed up till 2:30 in the morning to watch foolishness. It's not worth it, is it? It's just not worth it. Jamaica getting slapped like Cool Runnings business they're dealing with right now. I'm not happy with it. But hey, onwards and upwards for Jamaica, man. It can't get no worse, surely. Right, we're here, people. Arsenal. Let's start off with some good news. Let's start off with something positive. Mikel Arteta, the man that I talk about this guy daily. Usually for reasons that he wouldn't want to hear. Usually I'm saying he's not good enough. Get me Conte. 2 8th place finishers, get him out. Well, listen, let me give credit where credit's due. Mikel Bombacla Arteta, manager of the month business. Congrats, well done. Come on, well done. Round of applause, Mikel. At least you've given me 1 month of joy out of the, nearly 24 months you've been in charge. Now, listen, it hasn't all been bad, of course. He has won the FA Cup, but Mikel Arteta wins manager of the month. He's got the whole staff here. I mean, which one? Is the AirPod guy this one or this one? I think it's this one, isn't it? This is AirPod Albert, I think they call him. But Mikel Arteta, manager of the month for September. 3 wins, 1 draw. Only 1 goal conceded, which was Son's goal. And manager of the month. Fair play. What more can you do in that month? You've done the business. DJ Dre said YouTuber of the month. They should give them out, to be fair, in each community. Jurgen Klopp said first time in history. I believe it is the first manager of the month that he's had since he's been at Arsenal. People saying Graham Potter's been done over. I think Arteta was the only manager. Was he the only manager to not lose? Could be wrong. 3 wins and a draw. So, yeah, listen, I'm not surprised. And obviously, I believe the game against Brighton... The game against Brighton was still classed as October, wasn't it? Yeah, we played them in October, so we actually won every game in the Premier League in September. This is why he won it. Him and AirPod Albert and the rest of them. I got to be honest, people. I don't know what hardly any of these staff members are called. I honestly don't. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I believe this is Steve Round. The guy who was at Everton with David Moyes, I think. I think he was at Man United with Van Gaal. This is AirPod Albert, who we know, loves a bit of Spotify during the game. I've seen this guy around before. I don't know who. I don't know any of them other guys. I don't know what they do. I don't think they I don't think they know what they do. This guy at the end looks like, I don't know, he looks like the lion out of Wizard of Oz. I don't know what's going off. But hey, he won manager of the month, best manager in the league for 4 weeks, people. Do you know what? I can't believe there's no interview, because surely this guy would be in tears right now. He did say the other week when we were bottom, those were the best 2 weeks of his life. I can't imagine how he feels about winning manager of the month. In fact, he has spoken. He's given a short interview. He just said, this award represents the way everyone has been together, has been working, and has been positive in difficult moments. That's all he had to say. He said, I got the award, but it's for the people working in the background. If this guy ever won a major trophy, honestly, I don't know what would be going off. You know, I'd love to see the interview, man. It would be the best Mick Ross waffle settings we've ever seen. I'm telling you, man. Don't tell me, anyone who's watched Wizard of Oz, come on, courage. You know, the lion, the scared lion. Tell me this guy don't look like the lion out of Wizard of Oz. This guy right here. Man, like NJ, you know, geez, I don't know what this guy's doing. Look at Mikel. Here he is. I swear Mikel Arteta looks the same in every picture. These three are the brains behind everything at Arsenal. These three are the ones responsible for everything going off right now. Steve Round, which is this guy, doesn't do much, doesn't say much. And then Earpod Albert. Surely he's got a sponsorship deal with Apple, because, geez, that guy's promoting AirPods every single game. Somebody please ask Mikel Arteta in the press conference, what is your guy listening to? Why has he got AirPods in while we're getting drummed by Manchester City, you know? These are the three amigos, Steve Round, Albert, and Mikel. These are the brains behind the actions that are going off. But listen, I said earphones has huge ears. Oh, no. Let me not do this. I ain't going to slander him too much. But yeah, I never actually noticed his ears are actually quite big. Maybe that's why he needs the AirPods in to hear what's going on. So you lot are out of order. You're drawing me out now. You're making me want to start slandering him. Let me not do it before everyone gets in the comments and go, oh, you're being too negative. He's won manager of the month. You're still dissing him. You know what our Arsenal fan base are like. They can't take jokes. They're very, you know, they're on edge right now. So I ain't going to do too much. But yeah, his ears are massive, to be fair. Let's not deny it, man. I mean, geez, I've never actually noticed him with the AirPods. But yeah, he's got some big whoppers there, hasn't he? But hey, manager of the month, Mikel Arteta. I don't know what that says about the Premier League, but he's had a good month. He has had a good month, to be fair, but he's got to do more. I want to see him win manager of the month again in another month, 2 months' time. I look at that run of games that we've got coming up, and I would say there is every chance that he can win manager of the month again. Man said it's a diss track. Trust me, he's got some big whoppers on him there. I don't, you know what I mean? I have to check mine aren't that big. He's got some whoppers on him. He can probably hear what the fans are saying about Arteta inside the stadium. Hey, Mikel, mate, I've heard someone on row 48 back there. He's transmitting hate. Yeah, he's transmitting hate on you. Don't transmit hate on you. I said it's a diss track, dissing the coaching staff. Jeez. Now, big up. Listen, manager of the month. Well done. Listen, you got to go and win that another 2 or 3 times, you know, before we can start praising him. One manager of the month. Nuno won manager of the month. Spurs could hardly win a game after that. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it actually makes things worse. Win manager of the month, all of a sudden it all goes down the pan. But listen, I'm glad he's won it. And let's hope we can build on that moving forward, man, because it's going to be a long, hard season, that's for sure. So hopefully we have something positive to look forward to. But Mikel Arteta, Premier League manager of the month. Soon to be manager of the season, said HK. If he wins manager of the season, mate, honestly, the humble pie I'll be eating. I just can't see it happening, to be fair. Penalty Spot said, we have to be positive. A good starting base between now and Christmas. We can see if Arteta can deliver. If not, all change. Listen, as much as I slander Arteta at times, as much as I banter him and his coaching staff, you lot are doing it as well, by the way. Man is saying he's got chicken fillets for ears. A man's just said he's got bacon rashers. See, you lot always getting me started. I can't stop once I get going as well. Ronaldo player of the month. I mean, that's daylight robbery on Mo Salah, by the way. But hey, it is what it is. We said yesterday 10 out of 12. We know it is 10 out of 21 overall. But It is a starting point. It is a base. It is a foundation to build on. And he has to build on it. I think Arsenal have to get at least another 10 points out of their next 4 games. You know, Palace at home, Villa at home, Leicester away, Watford at home. For me, those 3 home games have to be victories. Palace, Villa, and Watford at home have to be 9 points. I could accept a point away at Leicester. You know, we haven't got a great record there either. So another 10 points going into the next international break. If we're below that, I think we've fallen below where we need to be. But listen, it's a base. And like I said, football is a very fickle sport. 1 minute you can say somebody's terrible. The next minute you can be raving about them. It's all about results. It's a results-based business. By the way, when I turn up with Nicholas Anelka on the green screen, it means I'm in rebellious mood, man. Anelka was a bit of a rebel. It's Friday. I say whatever. You know what I mean? You know me, people. Whatever's on my mind, I'm going to say it. Arteta was probably in tears. That's probably why there's no real long interview. They've had to cut it. He's walked out. Oscar settings, you know. Big up Grant. Hope you're well, bro. He said these trophies are worthless. Callum Davidson done a double at St Johnstone and didn't get manager of the year. Potter was robbed. I mean, listen, we got to take the positives out of it. 10 points out of 12. He's got to go and back that up. Get me another 10 out of 12 minimum. Then we'll start having conversations. You know, you're still a long way from the green screen, Mikel. I tell you that. I haven't had him anywhere near this green screen yet. So get on the green screen, then I'll be happy with you. HK said stuck on the meds due to a bad tooth, but Arsenal therapy always gets me better. Hey, man, that toothache, it's one of the worst, isn't it? Get well soon, my friend. Daniel said, big up, Big C, been a minute since I caught your live stream. Big up. People, we're only about 40 subscribers away from 37K. If you haven't subscribed already, slap the living daylights out of that button. It's Friday, people. The weekend's coming up. No more work for people. Relax, enjoy yourself. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Football content awards are next week, people. Hopefully we can get a trophy. I'll keep you updated on that. Although if I don't win, I might not mention it. But nah, listen, I will either way. Right, we're going to start speaking about Stan Kroenke. What a clown this guy is. You know what? I dislike this guy more than Mikel Arteta, to be fair. I still, even though I criticize Arteta, I still give him the option to change my mind. He's still got that option for me because I know that despite his failings at the football club, I still believe that Mikel Arteta wants the best for Arsenal. I genuinely believe it. Some of the things he said in press conferences, I mean, there's no doubt he cares about the football club. But man like Stanley, mate, no. Stanley has not got no opportunity to change me and turn me around. I don't care about 150 million in a transfer window. I don't care about changing managers. It's too little, too late. 150 million should have happened 2 years ago when Emery took over, when you bumped him and gave him 60 million and he had to buy about 8 players, right? It's all too little, too late. You allowed Alexis to run down his contract and leave, you know. There's too many. Luis Suarez, 40 million and a pound. No, it's unforgivable. He cannot be forgiven for me. So we're going to speak about Stanley. And the reason we're speaking about Stanley is for 2 reasons. Number one, Newcastle are now the richest owned football club in the world, which is very hard to get your head around when, a couple of days ago, Mr. Mike Ashley was like the tightest chairman you could ever find. Don Vergas with the super chat said, I think the trainer with the AirPods is on the phone with someone with an aerial view of the pitch so they can tell the players where to position. I mean, if that's the case, it's definitely not working. But yeah, big up Don Vergas. Obviously, a few things are going off at the moment in football regarding ownership, and in particular, Newcastle United. They are living the dream right now. Anyone who's watched the Goal movie, they are about to live that in real life. Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, a net worth of £320 billion. What kind of madness is that? 320 billion, people. Let me zoom in on this because it's a little bit zoomed out. So this is the 10 richest owners in world football. Manchester City are now second, 23 billion. Red Bull Leipzig's owner is third. Obviously, Red Bull, huge company. He owns Leipzig, Salzburg, and all that. 15 billion. Andrea Agnelli, Juventus, 11. Abramovich, 5th. LA Galaxy is in 6th. And have a guess who is in 7th and 8th place, people. Who is in 7th? None other than our very own Stanley. Stanley is 7th on the list. Yeah, that's right, people. We have the 7th richest owner in world football. The 7th richest owner in world football. Yet Stanley has basically got Arsenal sitting on the corner with a bowl in front of them begging for change. That's how he's basically had it. We've been moving like paupers. Now, people will go, I always have this argument with people that go, yeah, but Stan spent money. Aubameyang, Pepe, Lacazette, Xhaka, this, that, the other. It's all right spending money. It's another thing when you actually care about how the money is spent. When you make sure the people spending the money are spending the money in the right way. I don't know about every other Arsenal fan in the chat. And in fact, not even just Arsenal fans. I am actually frustrated more about Arsenal since this Newcastle takeover. It's brought all the feelings back to the surface because I'm sitting there going, raw, Newcastle have been taken over 320 billion. They're approaching Antonio Conte. They want Gareth Bale, Philip Coutinho, apparently Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Not saying that we would want those players, but, you know, imagine the excitement. While our owner is the 7th richest in the whole world, and we're out here, can't buy Suarez for 40 million plus, didn't get our when we wanted him. This summer, you know, a lot of signings. We went with cheaper, younger options. It's crazy. Peely Wally, thank you for the super chat, said the Saudi prince is supposedly raging after the takeover. He had only asked for a new castle. Man said, listen, just buy me a new castle. And they bought him Newcastle. I love the Friday jokes. The dad jokes are the best, man. Stanley the fraud. I'm sorry, but for me, Stanley is a fraud, mate. I don't care how much he spent. I don't care what he tries to do. The self-sustaining model is flawed. It is not working well. Who has a self-sustaining model and allows Ramsey, Wilshere, Welbeck, Ospina, Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Willian, Ozil, Mustafi, Socrates. We're now going to lose El Neni and Nketiah, Kolasinac, Lacazette. That's about 13, 14 players. How do you allow 14 players to walk out of the door for nothing in a self-sustaining model? How do you allow that to happen? Self-destructive model, Oz, you're right, my friend. Self-average model, as you're saying. It is not going to work, and it hasn't worked. I'm sorry. Stan is a fraud, in my opinion. 7th richest owner in the world. Do you know how crazy this list is, people? Do you know how crazy this list is? So you've got the PSG chairman in 8th. Our owner is richer than the owner of PSG, who bought Neymar for 200 million, bought Mbappe for 160 million, right? Don't get me wrong. The net worth of the Qataris is bigger, but Nasser El Khalifi by himself is worth less than Kroenke. You've then got Zan at Inter, and the Wolves chairman is the 10th richest in the world. Man United aren't even on this list, people. Man United aren't even on this list, and look how much money they spend. They spend an absolute fortune. Stan Kroenke is milking Arsenal to the absolute core. Now, Simon says, Curtis, you're blaming the owner who knows nuts about football. The people he hires are the frauds. If you own a business and you hire somebody and they do their job wrong, if you have hired somebody, in my opinion, that doesn't have the credentials on his CV, then I believe that is the owner's fault. Because he hired Ivan Gazidis, who'd worked in the MLS. That didn't work. He then hired Sven Mislintat, who was the guy responsible at Dortmund for getting all these young stars. And I thought he was onto something there, but apparently Sven Mislintat was very sloppy, turned up late for work, didn't dress properly sometimes. They didn't like him. So they get rid of him. Then they go for Raul Sanelli, who's a shark, who swims with the sharks, you know. He apparently got Neymar to Barcelona, and that deal was investigated because apparently Neymar's dad was paid 20 million euros. You know, we tried to swim with the sharks. We couldn't handle it. The Pepe deal was as dirty as anything we've ever seen. Cedric and those deals had Raul Sanelli's brown envelopes all over them. We then end up going back to Edu. Now, Edu's never done this job at any top quality level. He's a glorified travel agent for the Brazilian national team. So you can blame the people he hires, but he's hiring the frauds. It's not like he's hired top quality people and they've done their job wrong. And then you can go, well, he's unlucky because that guy had all the credentials and it didn't work. This is Stan Kroenke's fault. Marvu's trolling. Chelsea fan said, Stan, we love you. We can't accept that, Marvu, my friend. The Green Gooner, appreciate your super chat, bro, and your support as always. Says, big up, Big C. Newcastle is a massive club. I'd love to see them back at the top of the table with every right to be bitter because of stupid mistakes made by ownership over the last 12 years. We're too big to suffer this for too long. Absolutely correct. And this is one thing I say. This is one thing I want to say to Arsenal fans in general. It's Friday, people. I got things to say. I have to express things going into the weekend, right? I'm on Twitter. And as you know, anybody that follows this channel, I've got strong opinions. I would like to say that they're always well balanced, but I've got strong opinions. When you've got strong opinions, people don't always agree with what you've got to say. Arsenal fans are so quick to jump on each other's opinions when they disagree with them. Oh, this, that, no. How about, for once, we put our energy into the same thing? What is the biggest problem at Arsenal Football Club? For me, it's the owner, right? Because the owner hired Edu, who I don't think is very good at his job. He hired Vinay, who I don't think is very good. And he hired Mikel Arteta, who, big up for your manager of the month, but I don't think he is very good. So the biggest problem at Arsenal Football Club is the ownership. Now, for me, why are the fan base letting this guy off the hook? He is the 7th richest owner in world football. The 7th richest. We should be blowing up the transfer market. We should be spending 200 million on star players. Now, we've bought a lot of potential this summer, and maybe in time there'll be a decent team. But are we going to be good enough this season? Maybe, but maybe not. We shouldn't be asking that question. We should have signed players of such a high standard that we feel almost certain we're going to achieve what we want to achieve this season. But we're not certain. If I said to any Arsenal fans in the chat, do you think we'll get top 4 this year? I guarantee 95% of you would say no. But why are we saying no when we've just spent £150 million? We finished 6th. No, sorry. We finished 8th. Geez, not even 6th. We finished 8th last season. Only 6 points off the top 4. We spent 150 million, yet we're still not confident that we can get top 4. Some fans aren't even confident we can get top 6. Why is that? Because 1, people aren't confident in the manager. 2, people aren't sure that the players we've signed are good enough to bridge that gap between 8th and 4th, or even 8th and 6th. And this is my problem with this owner. He's pulled this club down bit by bit by bit. Anybody that's been to the Emirates Stadium lately, right? Have a look at the decor around the stadium. It looks like it needs painting, people. I swear to you. Anyone that's been to the Emirates lately, in the comments, all the pictures of all the legends around the stadium, they're all starting to fade. You can't see them as good. I'm like, yo, can't you, man, get a paint man in to come and paint that? Make the Emirates look proper. I'm telling you, Arsenal, this guy's a madman. This guy's crazy, bro. I'm telling you. Anthony said, Kroenke is a problem, but not the problem. He takes nothing out the club. His faults are his lack of interest in our success and his recruitment, not money. Look at our expenditure since 2011. And you know what? I love comments like this because it starts good debate. Big up to Anthony with a super chat. Now, when I have arguments and debates with people regarding Stan Kroenke, I don't use the argument that he hasn't spent money. He has spent money. Number 1, he's spent money that the club has earned. He hasn't spent money that he's got in his own pocket. That's first of all. Think about the summer we won the FA Cup and only signed Peter Cech under Arsene Wenger. Not good enough, an opportunity to build. Think about when we bid 40 million for Luis Suarez and £1. Why didn't we just bid 45 or 50, be aggressive and sign the best striker in the Premier League at that time? Think about Unai Emery. He hired Unai Emery and gave him 65 million to spend in his first transfer window. That is not sufficient backing for a new manager, a manager that had won 3 Europa Leagues at the time. He's won 4. So he spent money, but there has been situations and times where he needed to spend, and he didn't spend. How does an owner allow Alexis Sanchez to run down his contract when he's the best player at the football club? If I'm the owner, when Sanchez has got 3 years, 2.5 years, I'm having meetings, bro. Yo, we need you to extend that deal. You're the best player at the club. You're my biggest asset. I can't allow this to happen. But he just lets it run down. That is the lack of care, the lack of time, the lack of motivation for success. And that is the problem with Stanley Kroenke, my friend. Stan Kroenke, by the way, turns 75 next year. Has he even got the energy, the motivation to make this work, people? And that is my issue with it. Jonathan Amp, we big up for the super chat, said, when you have a good owner, poor results don't have loads of excuses because the team is capable. Lampard with Chelsea is the prime example. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. What you do as an owner, you build a football team that the manager cannot hide behind because you say, right, I've given you the back four, the keeper, the midfield, the striker. Now you go and perform. When Frank Lampard didn't perform, 6 months, gone. Don't care if you're a Chelsea legend, out the door because you've got no excuse. You wanted the striker, you wanted the midfielder, you got all of it. But this owner has not built a team that a manager can come in and just say, right, I can work with that because this team is top quality. The Arsenal team is still not where it needs to be. And this is the problem with Arsenal Football Club and this ownership. Definitely spent money. No doubt about that. He spent a lot of money. He spent money at times, or he hasn't spent money at times when we were desperate for money to be spent. When Arsene Wenger finishes outside the Champions League for the first time in 22 years, you bring in a new manager. What you need to do is give that manager the best possible chance of getting you straight back in the Champions League. Now, we know that Unai Emery kind of messed up in that first year in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He messed up in the league. We obviously lost the Europa League final. But why wasn't he back sufficiently in the first year? Why did we spend 60-odd million in that first transfer window? Now, he should have been backed. We've bought players since Wenger has left that we're now trying to sell, which is crazy. Let me show you this stat because I can see some of you in the comments. I can see John Bamford. I'm going to click on your comment because I like the debate. I don't hide from debate, people. I showed this before. Premier League owner financing from 2010 to 2020, right? This is Premier League financing. People saying I missed a super chat. Let me get it up. I think it's Anthony again. Big up to you, Anthony, who says he became complete owner in 2018. Since then, we spent 442 million. Since 2011, when he became majority owner, we spent 966 million on players in a decade. He also paid off the Emirates debt. Now, again, Anthony, and listen, I respect your comments. I respect your comments. He paid off the Emirates debt. The majority of it was with players sold, right? He paid off a lot of that with players sold. We sold our players for a decade, right? Van Persie, all of them were getting sold left, right, and centre. So a lot of that stadium got paid off by weakening our own team on the pitch. I haven't really seen Tottenham sell any players. Their stadium cost nearly double what ours cost. So he didn't have to take that route, but he chose to weaken the team, make the manager's job even more difficult to pay it off. But fair enough, he paid it off. So that should have meant we've paid off the stadium. Now we're in the promised land. Now we can live life. Now we're eating steak. No more cheeseburgers. The stadium's done. Let's go. We're a financial powerhouse. Do you feel like Arsenal are a financial powerhouse? Because I don't feel like it. I really don't. Let me get John Bamford's comment up. Because he's fighting back. And I don't mind. I don't run away from debates. He put complete nonsense, Curtis. The owner doesn't build the team. The football men do. John Bamford, I respect it. I'm going to give you my comments back. John, if you own a £2.1 billion company, which is how much Arsenal is worth, and you hire people to do their job, and it's that expensive, the company, are you not going to keep a close eye on what is happening at that football club? Do you think Roman Abramovich would allow N'Golo Kante or Romelu Lukaku or Rudiger, do you think he would allow one of those players to run down their contract without his say-so? He would probably say with a year, 2 years to go, listen, if this guy ain't renewing his contract, get rid of him. Do you think he would allow that to happen? This manager allowed that to happen. Ozil and Sanchez were our two best players, our two most expensive. He allowed both of them to run down their deal and leave for nothing. So you can say he hires them people, but he didn't let them do their job properly. You know, he brought in people that weren't good enough to do their job and allowed them to just drain the club of all its assets. Aaron Ramsey left for free. Should have been worth 30 or 40 million. So, John, I won't hide from these debate comments. I'm up for the debate, John. They're calling you John Kroenke Bamford, John. But no, I disagree with it. Respectfully, John. Mike said, you're right, Curtis. Also, if we were to get relegated, God forbid, I'll just laugh because then they'll start chanting Kroenke and it'll be too late. This man Kroenke is a football. Well, we won't read the rest, but I hear you. He's listen, we're his side piece. When you go Nando's, yeah, you get your chicken. We're just a little bit of rice on the side that helps. He doesn't really care about Arsenal Football Club, let's be honest. Ageless Tuber said, we are just a cash cow for Stan's US franchises. He said he didn't buy us to win trophies. When was the last time you saw him at a game like Roman? As long as we finish above 18th, we will make him money. Somebody said the other day, and I appreciate your super chat, Ageless Tuber. Daniel Ek's been at the Emirates more times than Stan Kroenke this season. And Daniel Ek doesn't even own the football club. You know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We're getting treated like some Nando's side rice. Some peri-peri chips on the side, people. Absolutely crazy. All right, let me get back to this picture. I haven't even delved into this picture yet. Manchester City, top of the league. This is money put into the football club out of the owner's actual pocket. Not money that the club has earned. It's out of their pocket. Manchester City chairman, 1.13 billion out of his own pocket. Probably needed to happen. They were playing catch-up, right? Green Gooner said, give me some of that oil money. Forget the classy nonsense. We've suffered this fool long enough. Listen, I said this yesterday. Stan Kroenke is not exactly a classy guy himself. James with the super chat, thank you, bro, said, how some people down and defend Kroenke after 10 years of mediocrity. We've not been competitive since 2011. Remember, Kroenke is the owner. He is in charge of hiring the appropriate professionals. 100%. 100%. Big up Stephen Featley, said, fair point, Anthony, but he put people in charge who don't know football, so would waste money on players that are not good enough, plus let them run our contract of our best assets, letting them leave for free. Spot on, Stephen. I mean, how is it that, no disrespect, Rob Holding got a new contract, Granit Xhaka got a new contract, players that I don't think the fans would have minded if they were sold. Those guys are getting renewed, but your big boys, your Sanchez, your Ozils, all these guys that were... Well, Ozil did sign a new deal, but Sanchez didn't. Ramsey didn't. Even Aubameyang ran down to his last year, which was crazy. Smash that like button, people. Over 1,200 of you in the chat. Get your comments in. I'm going to put slow mode on because I wanna read as many comments as possible. Always sparks a great debate when you speak about Silent Stanley, the silent owner. Some people actually think he's doing a good job. Big up to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Shout out for me. Big up to you in the comments. And big up to Jonathan Amp, who said, saying it's all Wenger's fault and backroom staff fault is cap, because as an owner, if you are competent and care, you don't allow these men to scam you. It's like he let these men have free reign and do whatever they want. Right, let me get back to it again, people. The league table. Chelsea second, 570 million out of Abramovich's pocket. Even Aston Villa, 459 million. Let's find Arsenal. Where is Stanley? Stanley is right down here, mate. 15 million pounds out of his own pocket in 10 years at the football club. Newcastle United, Mike Ashley with a big fat zero. Them guys didn't even get a Sports Direct mug out of him. You know, that guy didn't give them a penny, right? Burnley, 2 million. Norwich, 2 million. No one's surprised. And then the two North London clubs, 15 million a pop. Arsenal and Tottenham. No wonder North London is looking such a mess right now when you've got owners that are not even willing to put their own hand in their pocket of a 2.1 billion pound business. People tell me this guy's running the football club properly. 15 million out of his own pocket. The guy's the 7th richest owner in world football. and people talking about financial fair play and stuff like that. This guy could easily spend 100 million and Arsenal would be fine. We've got massive stadium sponsorship with Emirates, big sponsorship deal with Adidas, Fly Rwanda. Arsenal are doing crypto and all sorts at the moment. We bring out about 400 training kits a season. We charge the highest season ticket prices in Europe. It's more expensive to watch Kolasinac, El Neni and Eddie Nketiah play for Arsenal than it is to watch Messi and Mbappe and Neymar play for PSG. I kid you not, people. This guy is a fraud. I don't care how much money he has spent. 99.9% of the money that he has spent on the football club has come out of the football club. He has not put his hand in his pocket once apart from that 15 million. Who was that 15 million? Sambi Lokonga, Peter Cech, one player. The guy probably felt sorry for us and gave us a little 15 million out of his pocket. The guy's a disgrace. The guy, he's the biggest problem at Arsenal, people. I just had a few facts up, a few things that I wanted to speak about. Obviously, Stan Kroenke built the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, the most expensive stadium in the world for the LA Rams. It cost just over £5 billion. In May of last year, Stan took out a £500 million loan to deal with the cost of the stadium. The stadium was initially due to cost $2.6 billion, but due to the pandemic and building costs, it cost more than 50% of the initial plan and cost just over £5.2 billion to build. This guy built a £5.2 billion stadium, while Arsenal are over here saying, can you buy us Dominic Calvert-Lewin? That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? We can't even get a Calvert-Lewin out of this guy. He's in America building a £5 billion stadium. Do you know what I'm saying? And all we are is collateral, people. When he goes to the bank and says, I need to borrow 5 billion, they go, well, listen, what do you own that we can take off you if it doesn't work? And he go, yeah, I own Arsenal. I don't spend no money on them. This is how I'm going to manage my debts. We're just collateral. We're just the rice that makes the chicken taste better, people. And that's what people have to understand. This guy's in debt. Massive, massive debt, over 5 billion. They say it's one of the best stadiums in the world. And big up to Henry, who said, from Florida, it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium. Definitely want to go soon. Have any of you in the comments ever actually been to that stadium? I'd love to go there, to be fair. It looks incredible. But it looks like it's at the cost of Arsenal, you know? And this is where we're going with this guy, unfortunately. Nowhere fast at the moment. Facts. Richard Reed said, big up Big C, the hybrid squad had a good stream about the Rams Stadium the other day. I will try and catch up on that. Sheets of Metal said, I saw that stadium. It looks incredible, people. Absolutely incredible. I'll put a picture up of it in a sec. More a small city than a stadium. Do you know, most expensive stadium in the world, people. While ours, the paint's peeling off our stadium. Do you know, the paint's peeling off. Ours cost 450 million. Theirs cost 5.2 billion, people. There's levels, you know. You can see which one he really cares about and which one is the side piece, people. I'm telling you, it's real talk. We have to get the club out of this guy's hands somehow. Drew one said, bring Wenger back on board as chairman and let him bring the DNA back to the club. The top four never felt further away. I mean, would Wenger be able to bring that DNA back? You know, I know he works with FIFA now. You know, would he really want to? I don't think he's even been back to the Arsenal stadium since he left. He said it was too difficult. Drew one, yeah, big up with that, Drew one. Well, we got here loads of comments. Ageless Tuber said, as customers, as fans, you generally expect to pay premium dosh for premium product. We pay Champions League prices for not even Conference League quality. I mean, that's it. We're paying more than any team in the country to watch our games. Are we watching the best football in the country? No, let's be honest. The football is pretty boring. Are we watching the best players? No, we're not watching the best players. Far from it. We've got some good young players. We ain't got the best players. Have we got the best manager? No, far from it. He'd never done the job before he even got it. What are we paying for? What are we actually gaining from it, people? This is what I'm trying to establish. The stadium looks absolutely incredible. Really does. 5 billion. Let me get a picture up just to show people. I wish I could go there, to be fair. I might have to visit it, hopefully, when I get to America. Let me get it up for people. I mean, that is unbelievable. That is incredible. Even this bit in the middle where the scores come up, it's absolutely huge, people. Look how high it is. 4 tiers that stadium is. Massive, massive stadium. Fitz said, sorry to be doom and gloom, Big C. It's official now that Arsenal have the worst owner in the Premier League as they continue to sink deeper in a sea of mediocrity. Do you know what? Somebody actually said that, Fitz. I saw somebody tweet that. They said, oh, you know, now Mike Ashley has left, you've got the worst owner in the Premier League. And I was like, you're probably not too far off when you say that, to be honest, because as I said, you look at that list, Norwich and Burnley have spent less than us. Norwich and Burnley are not going to spend big money. They don't get big money. But it's only us and Tottenham. Now, when our owner built the stadium, we sold our best player every year. Everybody left. Van Persie, Adebayor, Nasri, Fabregas. We sold everyone. Now, Daniel Levy built a more expensive stadium. He hasn't sold anybody yet. So for me, the owner is the biggest problem at the football club. He hired Arteta, hired Edu, hired Vinay. He doesn't care enough about this football club being successful. He told us out of his own mouth, I did not buy Arsenal to win trophies. It doesn't get any more harsh, upfront, and clear than that. We are collateral. That is all we are. He brought in this manager that is failing at the moment. I know Arteta fans don't like to hear that, but back-to-back 8th is not good enough for a club like Arsenal. Edu is not good enough as a technical director. You know, it is this manager that has been hired by this owner. Drew One said spent US dollars 140 million plus, and Brighton plays better football. No DNA in the team. Fans deserve better. Got a season ticket and always need persuading to go. Bro, I've got a season ticket, right? I haven't been to one game this season. Now, some people may say, oh, that's bad. You're an Arsenal fan. You should go and support. I got to be honest. I'd rather support them from my house right now. I haven't got no motivation to go and watch this team. I'm not inspired to go and watch them. I respect them. The young players are trying to do their thing. They're trying their best, but it's not there right now. It's just not there right now. I got to be honest. SB, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Curtis, I was there the other day at the Emirates, and I kid you not, I saw the red colour on the Arsenal badge peeling off near the entrance, near the steps. I promise you, people, I was at the Emirates yesterday, right? I went past the Emirates yesterday, and it needs painting. I promise you. That bright red and all that you saw around the stadium, it's all fading. I'm like, what the hell is this? You might have all summer. You can't paint the stadium. It can't be that expensive. It's crazy what's going off on the football club. Absolutely crazy. Mark said, I fly over from Belfast 4 to 5 times a year. Can't be bothered anymore. Boring Arsenal. It's not there, is it? It's really not there. A lot of people have said they've been going for years, and they're not going anymore. Because it's just not there. I'm just trying to get this stat up that I had about Kroenke. Oh, it's loading. I'll get that up. But yeah, definitely collateral, people. John, here he is. John's back. Here he is. Johnny Kroenke's back. Send KSE a letter, Curtis. Arsenal spent more than any other club this summer, yet you're talking about paint and spending. Dear John. Dear John. John, I tell you what, I'll write you a letter. I'll break it all down why he's not the right owner. John, spending more money in one transfer market is not going to bring back 10 years of neglect. 10 years of neglect, John. Spending money. Listen, I could send you... listen, any of us, we can go to Harrods today. I can say, right, we're going out clubbing tomorrow. All of us, everyone in the chat, we're all going out clubbing tomorrow. I could say, right, I'm going to give you 10 grand to go in Harrods and buy your outfit. Just because it costs 10 grand doesn't mean you're going to look good. You got to have style. You got to get things that match nice clothes. Being expensive, saying, oh, he spent 150 million doesn't mean we bought good players. Did Arsenal have a better transfer window than Man United, who signed Ronaldo, Sancho, and Varane? No, but they were able to get better players because of the position they was in. When Arsenal were a certified Champions League club, he didn't take advantage of that and build and get the right players in. How many years did we need to replace Robin van Persie? How many years did we need that beast of a defensive midfielder and the dominant centre-back to play next to Lauren Koscielny? These things were never addressed. Why? Because the guy doesn't care, my friend. The guy doesn't care. It's not about spending money. I'm not saying that Stan has not spent money, 100%. He's definitely spent money. The man is saying, John, come in. John, we're going to VAR, mate. I'm running over to look at the screen. John, that's your final warning. Yellow card, last warning. You do that again, mate. You're off. John, we're 11th. We finished 8th 2 years in a row, John. This guy is not good enough. We can't accept this mediocrity. We can't. How do we get him out of it? How do we get him out of there, man? The Qatari guy is trolling again. The Qatari guy is trolling. This is it. Look, John's back. This could be him off. He said, are you kidding me, Curtis? That was all on Wenger. Wenger had complete control at the time. Right, that's it. I'm timing him out. He's done. John, I'm not blocking you. I'm giving you 5 minutes. You're going to the sin bin, John. We're not having no more of this. It's Friday. We're trying to chill for the weekend. John's been blocked for 5 minutes. I'm not accepting it. That's got to be Stan Kroenke's son or someone backing him. I've never seen anyone defend him like that. John, I respect your comments, but go in that sin bin and question your comments, my friend. I'm not having it. Respectfully, John. I might have to wrap up before his 5 minute timer comes off. But Mr. Qatari was trolling us all again yesterday, people. We just don't need this. We're too emotional for this. This guy better, I hope this guy's dad ends up trying to buy us because we haven't got time for all this. Newcastle have completed the deal to sign, the Saudi Arabian consortium have bought Newcastle. And Mr. Qatari is again trolling us, making us think we're going to be bought by the Qatari owners who own PSG. We need Arsenal after Newcastle, he says. Don't this guy know we're in no position to accept that? We can't deal with that, man. I need you to buy us. I don't need you to troll the fan base and hype us up, make us think you're going to buy us, bro. We don't need it. Ramon saying, Big C, bring John back. John's got 5 minutes, mate. He's in timeout. I've put him on the naughty step. But Mr. Qatari, of course, I believe it's his dad who is the real rich guy. Is he going to come and buy Arsenal? I don't know. But he's like you said, man, the man's playing with our emotions badly. Apparently, he's an Arsenal fan, but do we buy into that? I don't know. That is some elite trolling. You don't need people doing that when you're struggling. It's like being a starving man on the street and a man walking by you eating food. It ain't nice to see. We're desperate for a takeover. This guy's family are worth absolute billions. But no, I think he's playing with our emotions here. We don't need it. This Qatari playing like my ex. Big up, Jeff. I hope you're well, bro. Elusive Glue said, big up, Curtis. Surely if you are successful, then the club you own becomes a lot more valuable, which would benefit Kroenke. Listen, 100%. You don't buy a business and then allow the value to drop because you don't invest. And it's such an expensive company as well. Even if he wanted to sell it in the future, it's going to, the value will decline if he doesn't look after it, John Sylvester said, John, your name is making shame on mine. Johns are not supposed to be deluded. Arsenal are the only big club that is run horrible, John. John is not real. Oh, dear me. Big up, John. He's probably about 2 minutes away from being back. He's got one more chance. That's it. He's been in the comments for a while, to be fair. Buenos Aires Guna said, it's like your crush waving at you, only to be waving at the person behind you. Yo, that's what's happening, man. We don't need it. We're too emotional for this. We need a takeover. Don't come here and start doing this. Big up Stephen Featley with the super chat, bro. He said, Curtis, when I was in hospital last week, hope everything's well, Stephen, said, I said, does any Arteta fan want to swap with me in hospital as they need more help than I do? I take it back. John needs for defending that prick Kroenke. Oh, my days. Man said, Arteta, hey, listen, hope everything's well, Stephen. I've seen Stephen a few times at the Emirates prior to the pandemic. But listen, a lot of faces that used to go are not going anymore. They've had enough people. And this is it. We're all waiting for John to pop back up in the comments. He's probably got about a minute left before his 5-minute timeout is finished. Anthony said, I was Kroenke out years ago, always wanted Usman off, but our downfall is a culmination of a multitude of things. Kroenke plus Dean leaving, Highbury, plus the board, plus Wenger staying too long, plus Arteta, etc. And I totally agree with you on that. It is a number of things. Just what I wanted to say, though, Anthony, are you not Kroenke out now, then? Are you saying you just believe it's a multitude of things that have caused you to get in that situation, that have caused Arsenal to get into that situation, rather? So I hear you on that, but what I'm saying is he the man to turn things around now? We got a lot of things that need to be changed, and I'm not sure whether he's the owner to do it. He's put us in the mess. Is he going to take us out of it? To take us out of it, he needs to really focus, spend money, hire the right people to do the job. Big up Latte, hope you're well, bro. He said NFL, LA Rams, NBA, Denver Nuggets, NHL, Colorado are all important in Stanley's eye and mind and Arsenal. We are just a business to him. We fans have to take over from the greedy. I mean, listen, it's got nothing to do with it being American, but I hear you. Big up Latte with the super chat. He definitely cares about those other businesses more. Well, especially the LA Rams, who he has plowed money into, throughout his time, even with the stadium. Is, like I said, over $5 billion on the stadium is a lot different to his care for Arsenal, that's for certain. Big up Latte. When is John back? Listen, his 5 minutes should be about up, I think. I'm waiting for him to come back. Maybe he's walked out after the 5-minute timeout. Maybe he's not happy with it. One thing I wanted to get on just before we begin to round up, we're approaching the hour, is there was an interview that Martin Odegaard did while on international duty. And it was interesting, very interesting. He was asked about the difference in his time at Real Madrid and Arsenal. And he made some interesting comments. I don't know if I'm reading too much into them. You let me know what you think in the comments. He said the difference between Madrid and Arsenal, it's pretty big, I'd say. I think it's like that in the bigger clubs. Everything becomes a little more scattered. I'm very happy where I am now at Arsenal, which have a very nice dressing room. Now, first of all, I'm trying not to read too much into it, but is he basically saying that at a big club like Real Madrid, everything becomes a lot more scattered and the players are kind of further apart? He was talking about the difficulty in building friendships. So is he basically saying we're small fries then? You know what I mean? It's hard at the big clubs like Real Madrid to make friends, but at Arsenal, everyone's nice and friendly because guess what? They're not that big a club. That's kind of the way I'm taking it, people. Like, you're basically telling me we're some nice little friendly club where you can make friends. I don't like that. What are these men doing, going cinemas together and bowling? Yeah, so I don't know. Am I reading this wrong? Tell me, people. Am I reading too much into it? Is it good that the dressing room's nice at Arsenal, But I took that as like we're just some nice little soft touch and everyone's friends in there. Oh, football friends. Oh, football friends. We're all nice. We'll all get along. Everything's nice when you're 11th in the table, mate, and the demands aren't there. I want that ruthless dressing room. I want ruthlessness. I seen Thierry Henry said, listen, a lot of them players weren't friends away from the pitch during that Invincibles time, but they were soldiers together. They went to war together. They knew it was about winning. I kind of feel like he's firing shots at his own football club here. I don't know. Am I reading too much into this? I don't like to hear Arsenal's dressing room described as a nice dressing room. Oh, a nice dressing room. It was hard to make friends at Madrid because them man aren't there to be friends. Them man are there to win. But listen, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Like PG says, maybe there were massive egos at Madrid and maybe it was difficult to be friends with them. And at Arsenal, they're a little bit more down to earth. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think, people. Elusive Glue said, Curtis, he might mean there's no huge egos in the dressing room, which he could mean. Oz said, water pistol fight, not serious war with this club. He went on to then say, Real Madrid's dressing room. And again, I feel like he's firing shots at Arsenal again. He says, when you are at the highest level, it's not easy to make friends and that kind of thing. At least not when you are young and come from somewhere else. sometimes it can be difficult. Now, people, let me know here. Let me know. I don't think he means any harm by this, but without knowing, he's letting off shots at Arsenal. He's letting off shots. Man said, Real Madrid dressing room, when you're at the highest level, it's not easy to make friends. You're now telling me in this nice, as he says, very nice Arsenal dressing room, everybody gets along. We're all friends. Everything's beautiful. It's all rosy in the garden. It's lovely here at Arsenal. There's no pressure. Oh, football friends. There's no pressure, my friend. He loves it. Am I reading too much into this? I don't think I am. I feel like, I want you to be less friendly with each other. Go out there and go to war with each other. Go and win the games. This nice friendly dressing room shouldn't be friendly when you're 11th. Shouldn't be friendly when you're out of Europe for the first time in 25 years. Shouldn't be friendly when you finished 8th 2 years in a row. In our little swag dressing room, you know what I mean? Fofty and all that. I don't know. Listen, I've been in dressing rooms before. What I will say, there's nothing wrong with friendship. There's nothing wrong with friendship at all in a dressing room and togetherness. So maybe that's what he means by it. And I don't want to downplay his comments and make it sound like I'm nitpicking at everything and making it negative. He might just be like, listen, at Madrid, they were very distant. They had massive egos. And at Arsenal, there's more togetherness. If that's how he means it, then I take it all back and I respect that completely. But if he does mean it in that other way, that at Madrid it's cutthroat and people are less friendly, but they're demanding, and at Arsenal it's all nice and friendly, then that worries me at the same time, because I want a team that is willing to go to war for each other on the pitch. You let me know what you think, people. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, so I don't want to overreact. Some people saying lost in translation. That age-old excuse, international break where a player basically says he's not happy or he wants to leave, and then he comes back and says, oh, no, it was lost in translation. So maybe I'm reading way too much into it, but I just thought it was quite funny. I thought he was really, creating this picture that it's just some nice, friendly dressing room. Ryan said, you're all right, Curtis. Let's be real. The dressing room was like this before Odegaard came in. Remember what Fabregas said. Let's not lose our head completely. It just shows how soft it still is. Soft, people. Soft. Everybody says it. Big up Hakeem, my bro, said, we are soft. I'm telling you. Oh, man. Nice, friendly. At least they all get on. We're 11th in the league, but at least we all get on. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Callawall said, Curtis, you are absolutely right. I read it exactly the way you read it. He sees Arsenal as a small club, and indeed we are currently a small club. Just crazy that he was saying things like Real Madrid when you were at the highest level, and the difference between Arsenal and Madrid, it's pretty big. I'd say it's like that in the bigger clubs. Listen, we know Real Madrid are a bigger club than Arsenal, but you don't have to say it publicly and downers. We've got enough problems to deal with. Listen, maybe he's fuming. He got dragged off in that game at Brighton. People like me was criticising him. Man said, yo, forget this. I'm on international duty. I say what I want. I ain't got to see him for 2 weeks. So I feel like Odegaard was letting off the clip. Jack said, not going to lie, I'd rather lead judges by the club for £10.50 than the Kroenke. He's definitely got the passion, that's for sure, judges. Elusive Glue, big up Jeff, said, when you take into account English isn't his first language, I'm sure his intent is good. Listen, I'm kind of playing a little bit with it. I do read it a little bit like that, but obviously I haven't heard the interview. He may have said it totally different. So I don't want to slander Martin Odegaard, but I always have this picture in my head that Arsenal is just too nice of a club to be at. And, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be a little bit more ferocious. I want Arsenal to be a team that's feared again and more difficult to play against. And you have to wonder as well, is this part of the reason sometimes that some of these players don't make it at Arsenal? Your Guendouzes, your Salibas, your players that are a little bit more outspoken, in that everything has to be nice and friendly at Arsenal for you to actually work in the dressing room. I don't know. Listen, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're watching this afterwards as well, let me know in the comments after, and let me know what you think. But definitely an interesting interview. Carrington Blunt said, have you seen Odegaard speak nearly perfect English? And he does speak good English. So in that sense, can he use the language excuse? But sometimes when things are written, they are written different than the way that they're said. John hasn't come back. I put him on timeout. He left the building. He obviously wasn't happy, but I think he deserved it. It's all fun and games in here. You know me, people. It's all fun and games. But John hasn't turned back up. He's not happy, obviously. I do still believe that he's related to Stan Kroenke. We are Mikel's reflection, soft and nice. You wouldn't think that if you saw him on Twitter, mate. I'm telling you, they're volatile sometimes on there. Big up Stephen Featley said, sorry, Curtis, but the only reason I'll go to that... No, we can't be reading that out. But listen, I know you're not happy, Stephen. Let's just put it that way. I think it's clear you're not happy. But I appreciate your super chat, Stephen. You're clearly frustrated, though, that's for sure. You know, the crazy thing is, John's been in the comments for a long time. So, but I don't know, that Kroenke thing, that triggered him today. He wasn't having that. You know what I mean? John said, nah, I don't care what you're saying. You can diss Arteta, man, but you can't diss Kroenke. I'm not having it. You know what I mean? He came out swinging today. Oh, dear me, it's crazy. Listen, people, I've been on for over an hour. I am out of here today. Thank you very much for tuning in. You know what? I've loved this stream. The hour's absolutely flown by. Great comments as usual. Big up to all of you in the chat. Make sure you like the video. Can we hit 1,000 likes? Subscribe if you haven't already. We was only 40 away from 37,000. Hopefully we can have hit that. We can hit that today. And make sure you tune in. I'll be back tomorrow. And on Sunday, I will be doing the Nations League final watch along, which will be Spain against France. So I really enjoyed the semi-final last night. So I'll be back tomorrow with another Arsenal update. Sunday, we'll do the watch along. And then obviously from Monday, we build up again to Arsenal. Arsenal don't actually play till a week on Monday against Crystal Palace, the Patrick Vieira derby, which we'll be looking forward to that. I'll try and get some guests on again next week, people, as the international break winds down. Big up to all of you in the chat. Thank you very much for your great comments, great support as usual. Really enjoyed the stream. And make sure you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bless.